I want to start with streaming. You are developing a new streaming service, yet you've said you're not getting out of linear. How do you see the balance of power, though, shifting between linear and streaming at Disney?
Well, on the sports side, what we're doing is staying in the linear business, and the ESPN linear channels will still be available by traditional means, meaning multi-channel distributors. We're also adding to that a significantly enhanced, meaning extra sporting events service as a subscription model that will be accessed through the same app that you can access the channels and other ESPN scores and highlights. They'll have 10,000 extra or additional live sporting events in the first year and be available this spring. On the Disney front, we're launching a Disney streaming service in probably the latter part of 2019. That will house the output of the studio in what is called the pay window. At one point it was the HBO window. For us, it's been a window that Netflix has licensed from us. That ends in 18, and our movies slate starting in 19 will move over to this service, and then we'll augment it with television shows, library, original TV shows, and then original movies made just for the service, as well as shorts and a variety of other Disney features.
On the Vanity Fair new establishment list, they describe a rare case of mortality when it comes to ESPN and you, given the struggles that we have seen at ESPN and earlier this year especially. Why not just offer ESPN content direct to consumers?
Because right now the business model that most people access the primary ESPN content, which is live sports, 16,000 sporting events a year, is a good business model for us and a relatively good proposition for the consumer. It's working. It's not growing as fast as it once did. That's been largely what people have been focused on. But the epitaph for ESPN, it would be far too premature to write it. It's interesting you use the word mortality, otherwise I wouldn't use the word epitaph.
Well, actually, Vanity Fair used it.
Use the word mortality. I haven't read that yet. But ESPN still covers, as I said, like 16,000 different sporting events a year, 65,000 hours of programming. In a few months in 2016, I noted that about 75% of Americans watched some form of ESPN at one point or another in a month. I mean, it's still an unbelievably popular service, and one that is still thriving from a profitability perspective. But the world of TV has been disrupted, and we feel we need to adjust accordingly, and that's what we're doing by launching a streaming service, and that's what we're doing that's why we invested in BAMTech, and that's why we're making available all these extra sports on a streaming direct-to-consumer basis.